Hello everybody, my name is William. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Today we're doing another flight in our XCub for FSEconomy. Some backcountry flying to our new base in the XCub, McCall. We're going to be picking up from Johnson Creek and locating it there. So I hope you all do enjoy the flight. If you do, make sure to give the video a like. It does help me out a ton. I really appreciate all the support. Let's get into it. Welcome on board the XCub, everybody. We're on the ground here at Johnson Creek, where we left our aircraft here. We can still see the planes off to our left, people camped out and everything. We still have a wind kind of coming out of the west here. Yep, that is the west. Let's double check myself. We got the nice runway around us, and it looks like it is a pretty clear day. We're going to be making a short flight to McCall. Unfortunately for us, word got out about our landing here at Johnson Creek, and we couldn't find any passengers wanting to pay to go to McCall in FSEconomy, but we did get a guy to hand us a picture of Bigfoot, he said, and he wants us to deliver it to somebody in McCall. No joke, that is seriously what our passenger, or what our assignment in FSEconomy is. It is a photo of Bigfoot, apparently. So we're going to go ahead and go through, get this plane started up, and start getting ready to get on out of here. We're going to put the mixture rich. We'll put the fuel onto the left tank, prop forward, and we're going to just crack that throttle open a little bit. Battery on, ignition's on. Let's wait. We don't have our avionics on, but it's all going to come up. We're going to go ahead and get our strobe light on and fuel pump. Let's make sure it is clear all the way around. Got good fuel pressure, so clear prop. There we go. Fires right up. We got good oil pressure. It's in the green already. RPM just a tick above 1,000. We'll go ahead and just try and bring the throttle back a little bit. Get it right on 1,000. Oil temperature looks good, and our fuel pressure is good. We're going to kill the pump there and make sure it stays in the green. And it looks like it is good as well. So for our flight, it's really short, 26 nautical miles, but we do have terrain we have to cross over. It's about 9,000 feet around here. So, and then it drops back down to McCall, which is around 5,000 feet. What I think we're going to do here is we're going to depart to the north and then use this valley that we flew through. Both of these, we're going to climb through these valleys. That way we can get up over and then just drop straight into McCall. And kind of taking a little bit of a way out, but honestly I think that's our best bet if we're going to climb and just hop right over this little bit of terrain, and we can get into McCall fairly quickly, hopefully. So it works out for us. We've got a paying passenger, or I guess not a paying passenger, but we've got paying cargo going back to exactly where I wanted to locate the plane anyways. So I'm just going to start the flight in FSEconomy, and let's go ahead and get our avionic master on. That way I don't forget, even though it is all the stuff's already up. And we'll get our landing light on, and we're going to put it on pulse. So I'm going to taxi out to the left here. That way we can turn around and just take off to the north. Since the wind's basically, it doesn't really matter. We're kind of screwed either way. So let's go ahead and start taxiing forward. Make a left turn. Taxi all the way down. Just want to probably get on the edge here of these cones. That way, giving everybody over there a nice wide berth. Do really like the scenery as well. It's fairly cheap. I think it's like $9 on the in the InSim store. Honestly, you know, I'm not 100% sure. You gotta fly here a couple times, kind of get your money's worth out of it. But for what it is, the kind of airport it is, I really do. It adds quite a bit to the experience, in my opinion. So we're about to the point to where we want to turn around. Let's get to the big trees down here, and we will go ahead and turn ourselves around and get on out of here. Like I said, just departing to the north, and then we're going to hang a left at the T in the river and then we'll just continue climbing through that valley, basically. Not that I'm worried about our chance of being able to climb up high enough, but honestly, we would have to kind of circle in here if we didn't have the option to go north and then shoot out of that valley as well. So we're coming to the end, and we are going to turn this thing around. I love it. Turns on a dime. Just double check, make sure our altimeter is on the proper setting. We got everything else, looks like it is good. We are at 5,000 feet, so I'm gonna just lean the mixture a little bit preemptively. We've got some good performance here, and we should be ready to go for our departure. Do one little notch of flaps there. So last thing before, we're gonna put the transponder onto altitude mode, and let's go full power. Lot of right rudder here. And let's get up. And we'll stay low for a second. Just build airspeed. And let's climb. Get these flaps up. No drag. As little drag as we can possibly get here. That crosswind, it did not make, the wind did not make the landing easy, and it definitely did not make that takeoff easy either. But at least we got something kind of paying our way to McCall. That definitely is nice. Would have just flown there just to kind of relocate the plane anyways, but it is nice whenever you can put the plane where you want it and get a job that's going to pay to do it as well. So we're going to continue climbing as we go up to the north here, and then it won't be very long. We'll be at our T, and we're going to make the left turn to the west. Continue climbing up the terrain, about 9,000 feet, so we need to get up above that to really feel safe. And then we're going to have to drop all the way back down once we get on the other end of it into McCall, which also has a north-south runway, so kind of anticipating it's going to be a little challenging on the landing, even though we do have a bigger, nicer paved runway available there. So the visibility in clouds and everything, might be having good luck with that for these flights, but man, this one has been a, these couple trips have been bumpy. Really strong wind and a lot of turbulence in these valleys, as you know, you would kind of expect whenever you're getting kind of winds we've been getting. You're flying through valleys and over terrain and all that. Already almost up to 7,500 feet. This thing is amazing as far as its performance goes. So I wasn't too worried about it, but it was nice that we had that little option just to go straight north on departure, a nice clean valley where we don't really have to worry about much at all. And we could fly it up. That way we can just kind of head this direction. We're not too worried about anything around us or in front of us for a good bit, and we can just climb, build altitude. And it definitely beats sitting there doing 360s, not really going anywhere but up, as far as, you know, the amount of time it's going to take us to actually get to our destination. Just leaning the mixture a little bit more, making sure we're kind of in a good range for engine power. We can see the range up in front of us that we are going to be flying over, so we just want to keep climbing. Whoa, big chops there. Unfortunately, I don't think a suspected photograph of Bigfoot really cares too much. I still think that's funny whenever some people just have a really good sense of humor like that about what their assignments are in FSEconomy. Definitely does make it a little bit more entertaining. We're going to keep on going. We're going to go a little bit more direct now, since we do have good altitude. What I can do here is I can click and then I can put our bearing pointer, instead of having to go back through and go direct to or anything like that. I can put the bearing pointer onto GPS, and by doing that, instead of trying to recapture our line, I can just fly exactly where that blue needle is pointing. And by doing that, it is pointing directly to where our GPS is, the destination is. So you can see it's, you know, offset a pretty decent amount there from the purple needle, but basically it's saving me from going all the way down and re-intercepting that line, or going through and doing direct to again to McCall from our current position and getting a new line, which in this plane is very easy, I will say, but still. So we're going to go ahead and go up to 10,500, I think. Get nice and high on this flight. It's kind of funny because it's so short. And it is short enough, we're just going to leave it on the left tank the entire way in. Not worry about it too much. What I am going to do is go ahead and sync our heading bug to that. We'll go ahead and put the heading mode on, and we'll leave it on pitch mode and hit the autopilot here. Just kind of see we're not going to have a whole lot of room to actually descend in, and we're about to be at 10,500. So what I want to do is let's just continue climbing a little bit and just put it in the mode to capture 10,500, and we'll see if we can pick up. This is the ASOS for McCall, so let's switch over and see if we can pick it up.
Kilo Mike Yankee Lima automated weather observation 19000 Zulu. Wind 255 at 1 tree. Visibility tree. Sky condition few clouds at 800 feet, few clouds at 4,800 feet, few clouds at 12,200 feet. Temperature 2 trees, C dew point 10 C, altimeter 2976. Kilo Mike.
Okay, so it said wind 255 at one tree and 2976 for the altimeter, but we had just gotten an altimeter update as we were capturing, and it was tree 002, so we'll just have to check that as we get a little bit closer. The visibility and the cloud information I still do not pay any attention to. I still think it's rather screwed up. Let's see, we are a little bit to the left of our course here. You can see if we wanted to put that right on the dot of that, that would be 248. And that is going to take us right to McCall. Let's see if we can get anything from the valley behind us while we're shortly making our way over. We're just 15 miles out, and won't be long before we're descending in and making our landing. Crossing over the terrain. That's kind of a nice little boundary between McCall and all of the cool little airports off to the east of it. See, pretty mountainous. It doesn't really look like there's a pass necessarily in between, unless you wanted to fly like a really tight valley. You can kind of see it on the map there without gaining too much altitude, but you still have to climb up a little bit, it seems. If that was something that you wanted to do, that could be pretty fun. I'm sure we'll be going back to the east really before too long. With the wind, the way it was reported as well, I think we're kind of in a rough spot either way. We either land runway tree 4 and basically have a 90-degree crosswind, or 16 and have the same thing. And also our maximum demonstrated crosswind is 11 knots and our wind is apparently at 13, so this should be fun, especially with how my last landing in this thing went, but nevertheless, it is really pretty. I think this is a little bit of a prettier airport in McCall, but don't tell the people that own the FBO at Idaho County and FSEconomy that I said that. So it's going to be our new base for the Cub, and what we're going to do is we're going to start descending on down now that we're through that a little mountain range there. It's basically completely surrounded by mountain ranges here, it looks like. A really pretty lake as well. And we're just going to start going down 7.5 nautical miles, so it's somewhere up in front of us. I think this is the field right there. So I think what we're going to do is we are going to land to the north. We'll do runway tree 4. I don't think it makes much of a difference in which one we decide to do, but I don't know, I'd rather have a view of the lake and all the mountains in front of us while I've got my feet just kicking all around trying to keep this thing pointed where I want it to once we hit the runway. Maybe we can invest in some better rudder pedals. I'm not 100% sure it would honestly make much of a difference, but there are definitely some nicer rudder pedals out there on the market, and I think if you're, into flying little GA aircraft, tailwheel aircraft, it's probably worth it, in all honesty. Warbirds especially, that would be probably a lot of fun in like DCS or something with some better rudder pedals. Kick the flight director off, that would clear the autopilot modes. And yeah, I definitely think that's our field right there. Fortunately, it is kind of nice and flat around it, but I mean, we've got mountains just basically every side of this. I mean, even kind of sort of to the south. They're just, compared to what's around it in other directions, it doesn't seem as substantial. Just double checking the altimeter that that the sim wants to give us. That's why I don't just straight up trust the ASOS or ATISs whenever I listen to them. Because just updating again from InSim, and it's saying tree 001, and on the weather report you guys heard 29er76, unless I'm going crazy. That's what I heard anyways. We got a nice long runway. Couple beautiful lakes. Definitely not a bad place to be, I would say. Go ahead and push that mixture in a little bit more. We're going to keep this approach nice and tight. So about 6,000 feet, that's 1,000 feet above McCall's elevation. We're going to be landing runway tree 4. And we're not going to use all of our flaps, since we do have extra one because of the XCub mod I'm using. It has an extra notch of flaps that really just, I mean, basically lets you land the plane in, like, it seems like 20 feet. If you need to, probably less if you actually know what you're doing. Now let's go ahead and slow down. So let's hold our altitude here. Let's pull our power back. Down below 81 knots. We'll go our first notch of flaps. Now we can really start coming down. Be a nice tight turn to final
500.
for runway tree 4. That is a good view. I will tell you that right now. That beats any view I've ever seen personally when I've landed a plane. Go and go our second notch of flaps. We got to get a little bit more power in because we do have quite a bit of drag out now. We can see the windsock, so we definitely do have crosswind. We are on final for runway tree 4 here. If we run off into the grass, you know, we landed on grass, so should be fine. Just try and make it a little softer. Yeah. Wasn't great. Tell you that. It was not great, but it could have been so much worse. And it is tricky. Let's get these flaps up that way where it's a little bit easier to control on the ground. It is definitely a challenge controlling these things. Alright, so we are going to taxi off to the left here. It looks like basically all of our parking is kind of on the north side of the field here. So we're going to taxi up. We're in a Parker plane. This is going to be the new home for the Cub for a little bit. Hopefully we don't have to fight with crosswinds like that every single time. Ooh, man. Yeah, we don't want to go too fast on the ground. So let's go ahead and get our transponder onto standby. We can get our landing light off as well. And we're just going to continue taxiing on down. We're going to take our first parking spot. We're just going to complete our flight in FSEconomy and close up shop from there. I don't know, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, Idaho County was closed, so we could always go back to it if it reopens up. Or we could just keep switching our base of operation every now and then. There's nothing wrong with that either. But I'm looking forward to doing at least some flights out of here. And just kind of let me know what you guys think as well. As always, if you did enjoy this video, giving it a like really does help me out a ton. Go ahead and just hit the parking brake here and close our deliver our Bigfoot photo. Very, very important there. Anyways, like I said, I really do appreciate all the support. Likes, comments, all that stuff. Subscribing as well. It kind of blows me away that there are so many. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. And until next time, bye-bye.